What's up, guys? It's Bag of Bones Jones back here today, and today we're going to be talking about dieting. Now, there's a reason why I put the subtitle, why it isn't optional, and that's what we're going to be getting at today, because I felt like this video was important in like the next step of the videos I'm making, because most people tend to ignore the dieting part. At least they don't take it as seriously as they take their lifting, and it or their fitness journey or whatever, and it impacts their ability to reach the goals, the level that they want to be at. And I just want to talk about how we can make that easier for people, or at least give people a pathway to making their diet match the goals that they want to reach in the journey that they're on. So let's get into it. Now, like I've said before, I'm a physics guy, meteorology, and thermodynamics plays a huge part not only in my studies but also in the study of losing and gaining weight, and specifically in dieting. Basically, thermodynamics is the transfer of heat, and it basically means that, as the diagram shows here, hot uh, areas migrate towards cold areas because in thermodynamic systems, the system wants to balance out. And that's what I want to get at here, is that your body is essentially an open thermodynamic system in that you take in heat from the outside, but you also release it. And this is very evidently seen through the absorption and release of calories. Now, people oftentimes, I don't think they know what a calorie is. And essentially, a calorie, so like for instance, in my study of meteorology, we work with energy in a unit called joules, and joules and calories, they both they're both measurements of energy. Like joule, like 1 joule, or like no, 1 calorie is like 4.1 joules or something like that. It might be kilojoules. I think it's 1 joule. Yeah, that sounds right. But that's all it is, and the energy is in the form of heat. So the hotter it is, the more energy there is. Um, it's not totally intuitive because, like, when you're eating food, you're like, oh, well, this isn't hot. It's not that hotter food is more energy. No, I mean it's releasing more energy because it was given energy by like the oven when it was heating up or whatever. But that's not what we're getting at here. It's a calorie. It basically, like for example, protein has more calories per gram than fats and carbs. And that's because it takes your body more energy to break it down. So it's harder for your body to break it down. It has to produce more heat. In essence, it has to do more work. And so this gets to the idea that excess caloric intake equals growth. So muscle growth, fat growth, all kinds of bodily growth. And the deficit means that you're going to lose. So you're going to lose weight. You're probably going to lose some muscle, but if you do it right, you really shouldn't lose very much at all. It should mostly be in the form of fat because your body is going to burn off the stuff that's easier to burn off. Like I said before, fats and carbs are easier to burn off than protein is, and your muscles are made of amino acid chains, which make up proteins. Um, and so, I mean, that's the basic premise of it. Is that we need to be releasing more heat than we're absorbing if we want to get leaner. Now let's talk about body composition. Um, Dieting in general is more impactful than exercise is. And this is because, like I said before, like you just if you don't have like a specified diet at all and you're trying to lose weight, you can exercise for as much as you want. Your body's not going to be able to handle it after so long. You're going to get fatigue that adds up over time. Um, and dieting is a great way to make sure that you're not consuming so much energy that you just can't possibly burn it off, or it's just not feasible to do that. And then fat loss is sustained through deficit. Like you might have some weight loss, like if you're doing intense cardio and exercise and all that, but it's probably going to be mostly in the form of water weight, and you're just going to gain it all back, especially because you're going to see rapid changes in weight, and that's not sustainable. But fat loss that is sustainable is done through consistent dieting. And I do want to add in the caveat that, and I kind of mentioned it before, but dieting works in unison with exercise. When you can combine the two, you become unstoppable because you're first of all, if your diet is in check, it means that you're not consuming so much energy that you can't um, release enough energy to the point where you can cut down or bulk up, whatever you're trying to do. But you should cut down um, if you're trying to lose weight. And it combines with your lifting in the sense that, like, if you have a quality diet, then you're getting all the nutrients you need in a smaller amount of energy, a smaller energy parcel, and that's very powerful for your body because then you just don't need as much, and it's easier to lose that weight. Now, let's get into talking about some real ways, like some ways that you can take these concepts and apply them. So, how to calculate. First of all, you need to determine your needs. And what I mean by that is, are you trying to gain weight or are you trying to lose weight? Like, for starters. And then, for example, like most people watching this are probably trying to lose weight for the summer. At the time of the video I'm making, you might be watching some other time, but I'm making this mostly for the premise of losing weight. So if you're trying to lose weight, then how fast are you trying to lose the weight? Half a pound a week, 1 pound a week, 1.5 pounds a week? I wouldn't go any higher, like maybe 2 pounds a week, but even that's maybe a bit much. I wouldn't really go any higher than 1.5 pounds. If you want 2 pounds, you want to challenge yourself, okay, fine, but nothing higher than that. And then once you determine your needs, use a calorie calculator. So just look it up on Google, put in your height, weight, your gender, um, and then kind of working into this third point here, think about daily exertion. You're going to put whatever you think your daily exertion is into that calorie calculator. If you work out every day, if you have a strenuous job, if you're pretty sedentary, whatever, you're going to put it into calorie calculator, and then it'll take all of those factors and combine them and give you a number that will allow you that if you stay at that number, you might need to adjust it over time as you lose weight. Um, but only after a while. If you stay at that number, you will lose that weight at the rate that you want to, at the desired rate. So if it's 1 pound a week, whatever. Now, let's get into talking about how can you build a diet that works for you. This is the part that always gets people, right? Because you're like, oh well, like it's hard to break those eating habits. Your body's used to it. You're gonna feel hungry, especially at the beginning. Now that goes away over time, but it's not easy to break through that first block, and that's where most people stumble. I would start out by thinking about healthy foods that you already like. Now, that might seem really like basic and obvious, but like I really mean it. Make those the focal point of your diet because those are going to be the foods that you consistently eat. Like there's foods that I love to eat that are considered pretty healthy, and I've made those the focal point of my diet, and it works really well because those are the things you're going to turn to first. And those are the things that you need to be putting around yourself. Don't put tons of junk food around you that's super easy to grab and eat, whatever. If you need to meal prep, then meal prep. Like if you can cook, then that's a huge advantage. I'm terrible at cooking, so I have to go to the store and find low calorie stuff that works for me that's really easy to make. And if you want like specifics, I can give some examples of that as well, like in the comments or whatever. But in general, look for high protein foods and low calorie foods. Now, this isn't the only thing. You need to have a holistic diet, obviously, where you're getting all your micronutrients, your vitamins, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you should still be. I take supplements for diet, for vitamins and stuff like that too. But I think you should still be trying to make sure your diet is very well balanced. You still need those fats and carbs for energy output, and like I said, quick energy output, especially when you're like before you lift or do cardio. But in general, you need to be reaching your protein while limiting the amount of calories, especially because, like I said, protein is harder for your body to break down, so it has more calories. And then I think the most important thing here is developing a daily eating routine. So that's what I did. This is the thing that's worked the most for me. I started eating at in the same windows every day. I started eating the same things in those windows as much as I possibly could, or at least substituting something that's similar in macro and micronutrients. And it works really well because mentally and physically prepared to be taking in taking food and other stuff in at those times, and your body and mind will get used to it over time. Now, overall, like I said in my last video, that consistency is absolutely vital. You need to stay consistent here on your diet as well. Any drop in consistency means that you're going to slow your progress down, and that's basic thermodynamics. You can't take in that extra energy and expect to keep losing at the same rate. But changes happen over time. You're not going to see these changes overnight. You need to be working through it probably over a few months for a realistic typical cut. And you need to be pushing through those mental challenges. It's going to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and I wouldn't be making this video today. But here I am, and here we are. And I just want to say that you can do it. If I could do it, I know you can do it. I've lost over 100 pounds on a cut. It was a brutal cut. Cutting right now, I've lost like 25 pounds in this cut. It hasn't been as hard as the first one, of course, but if I can drop 125 pounds overall or whatever, like, I know you guys can do it. I never thought I could, but you just have to put your mind to it, and you have to, and having a strong plan in place and knowing that it works gives you the hope and that neural and mental support that you need to keep going. But I just want to say thank you for watching this video, guys. Leave any comments about other video ideas you want to see, or any questions you have. If you want to work with me on a training program or dieting program, just comment diet or train, and or like hit me up on Instagram, and I can help you guys with that. But other than that, I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and God bless, and I'll see you in the next one, either tomorrow or the day after, probably tomorrow. Peace.